Do we need to talk about 300 black people dying in Tulsa in 1921? Do we need to talk about the Red Summer of 1919? Do we need to talk about the savage brutality in Wilmington, North Carolina? Should we talk about the constant bombings and beatings and lynchings that took place? Should we talk about the group of black soldiers who killed white folks in Houston for how they were being treated? We can go on and on and on and on and talk about Rosewood. We can go all across this country. And this son of a bitch has the audacity, the unmitigated gall to sit in front of a group of black people and explain to them how in the hell we should equip our boys and girls to be resilient. Real simple, Robert Kennedy, fuck you.
Roland S. Martin, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are a complete disgrace to black people. You should be repulsed with yourself for constantly puppeteering your black listeners by playing on their emotions. Each time black people start waking up and start trying to think for themselves, you crawl out of your woodwork and start sowing your seeds of hatred, your seeds of self-doubt, your seeds of victimhood, your seeds of marginalization, your seeds of I am not good enough, your seeds of deception, because you do not want black people to be liberated, because you know that black liberation would mean that you're out of business, because in reality, the number one thing that puts food on your table is victimizing black people and always poking on the historical incidents that happened way before any of us was born. This man does not care about black people at all. He's only using them for making money, because if he cared about black people, I don't think he would have a single problem with what Robert F. Kennedy told his black supporters a while back. We're going to be watching Roland S. Martin react to Robert F. Kennedy's words, and we're going to discuss his reaction. But before we get into all that, I just want to implore you to like this video and turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and consider buying me a coffee or joining my membership if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. All right, let's quickly take a look at this disgraceful man reacting to these uplifting and empowering words of Robert F. Kennedy when he was addressing his black supporters. Let's go.
Well, he had some comments about black people and how we need to deal with racism. I just roll it.
So I don't think you can change that part of human nature. What you can do is you can make kids resilient against it. And the way you do that is by giving them a great education so that they know that they have potential. And the other thing is to give them business models, role models, and opportunities within their own neighborhood. You know, black men who are running barbershops, who are running bars, who are running dance studios, who are running local businesses, restaurants, etc., and who are part of that community. And you know, when I was a kid, my uncle was the first Irish Catholic president of our country, and when he ran for president, there was a tremendous resurgence in anti-Catholic sentiment in this country, and a resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan. I remember crosses being burned when I was a kid against an anti-Catholic president. A lot of other, I was called a Mick, a mackerel snatcher, all these anti-Catholic slurs when I was a kid. But it never bothered me. If somebody called me that, I would think that guy's got a problem. But I didn't think I have a problem. And that because I had a great education, I had a family who loved me, I had role models in my country, I had confidence in my own future. Oh, you know, those kind of things had no impact on me. And that's the kind of resilience that we want to give the black American children, so that they have so much confidence in their own future that when they do encounter the inevitable racism, that it will bounce off them, that they'll be, you know, like the Avengers, they'll be immune to it. And then we don't have to stop racism altogether, because we're never going to be able to do that, but we can have children that are not affected by it, that don't internalize it, that don't see it as their problem. They see it as the person whose race is a problem.
I'm gonna have to take a walk. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, this is like an exhale moment.
A lot of deep breaths.
Yeah, we supposed to let.
I'm 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 a I'm I'm a I'm a I'm I'm a I'm a I'm a I'm gonna take a minute to inform all of you that I'm a rotten piece of shit. Yes, I'm a disgrace to black community because instead of taking inspiration, instead of taking empowerment from these words, instead of seconding these words and encouraging my people to fortify themselves, invest in their lives, and not have a breakdown at the mention of a single word that maybe starts with an N, I'm gonna feign outrage and I'm gonna pretend that I'm seriously offended by these empowering words. This man went on his show and decided to react to an old clip of RFK addressing his black supporters. Robert F. Kennedy was essentially telling his supporters that as black people, we should strive not to remain victims of racism. Yes, racism will always be there. Racism will never go away because there will always be horrible human beings who will always be racist to other people. And these horrible people come in different colors and different races. We can never get rid of racism. But what we can do as black people is to never let it put us down, okay? To never see ourselves as victims. What we can do is to be resilient against all odds, and we can achieve this by giving our kids a great education, by setting them up to succeed in life, raising them right, investing in their future, making them confident and secure that they have a great future to look forward to. These are the words a man who loves his people would say to them. These are the kind of inspiring words that make people break barriers and achieve great accomplishments. But to a man like Roland S. Martin, a man who some black people see as a leader and a role model, a man who is supposed to love and care for black people's success, to this man, these words are racist. Well, let's hear more.
We're supposed to sit here and tolerate this ignoramus trying to tell black people, folk who are the descendants of people of African descent, who were kidnapped and taken from Senegal, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, and other African nations, and transported across the Atlantic and dropped off in Brazil, in Jamaica, in Haiti, in the Dominican Republic, all across the Caribbean before arriving here. The millions that died in the transport, and then those that came here and were savagely beaten and treated and shamed and degraded. Black women who had babies cut out of their womb. Black men who had their penises cut off. Do we need to describe what white folks did in America to the body of Nat Turner, where his entire body was mutilated and held up like a trophy? Do we need to talk about 300 black people dying in Tulsa in 1921? Do we need to talk about the Red Summer of 1919? Do we need to talk about the savage brutality in Wilmington, North Carolina? Should we talk about the constant bombings and beatings and lynchings that took place? Should we talk about the group of black soldiers who killed white folks in Houston for how they were being treated? We can go on and on and on and on and talk about Rosewood. We can go all across this country. And this son of a bitch has the audacity, the unmitigated gall to sit in front of a group of black people and explain to them how in the hell we should equip our boys and girls to be resilient. Real simple, Robert F. Kennedy. Fuck you.
Woo.
How dare you stand there and say that to black people?
All this outrage simply because a white man said what a black man is supposed to be saying to his fellow black people. He is mad because a white man is rooting for black people to win and excel in life. How dare you? How dare you encourage black people not to see themselves as victims? How dare you? He immediately started recounting all the hardships that black people went through in the past just to get them to be emotional and feel more victimized. Black people, remember that you were enslaved, that you were beat, that you were raped and discriminated against. So don't tell me that after everything that you went through, that your ancestors went through in the United States of America, you still want to look past these things and excel in life. No, we must remain victims even though we now have all the opportunities available for us to achieve great heights. His entire argument is just saying that since black people experienced slavery in the past, we should all get stuck in self-victimization, blame the system for any misfortune that comes our way, and never move past the slavery that none of us alive ever experienced. That is the end point of all his tantrums. Because tell me what is wrong with RFK's words. Just tell me. Black Americans now have ample opportunities in America now more than ever to succeed and excel in life. As far as the world is concerned, the United States of America is the only country that would give people from all walks of life equal freedom and opportunities to achieve greatness. The truth is that racism would always exist as long as human beings exist. It is part of human nature, just like sin. It would never go away. Even in African countries, we see racism playing out heavily, but we don't necessarily call it racism because the people perpetuating these racist acts to others also share the same skin color and race with those people they are being racist against. So we call it something different, but it is just the same as racism. The most important thing is that America as a country does not support racism, especially racism towards black people. In fact, the system is currently set up to favor black people and people of color above everyone else. That is why everyone who is looking to climb up the success ladder these days is now claiming to be black or have a black ancestry. Roland Martin, if you don't want black people to be resilient against racist, nasty individuals and to set up their life in a way that gives them confidence in themselves, what would you have them do? Play the victim? Ask for handouts from the government because of the injustice that their ancestors went through? Remain weak and a punching bag for these nasty racist individuals who will always be racist? Please tell me, because all you did was talk about slavery that was over centuries ago, but you never pointed out what black people should do moving forward. You are deceiving gullible black Americans and tricking them into remaining perpetual victims. Because our ancestors went through injustices doesn't mean we shouldn't be successful and excel in life. But that is exactly what you are telling us, that we should remain victims because our ancestors were victims. So shame on you for keeping black people stagnant with your deceptive words. I wish the eyes of your black followers would be opened so that they would truly understand that them being victims means you make more money on their heads. You should really be ashamed of yourself. But these are my thoughts. These are my opinions. You can disagree or agree with me, but do so respectfully in the comment section below. Again, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.